Hey guys, Paul Gold here. Now, if you remember, I sent you out an email the other day and I was telling you about the poll that I'd recently run with several hundred tennis players to find out what they felt they needed to do in order to move their games on significantly, and it had to be significantly, in the next 12 weeks. Now, I had about 600 results back and they were split into basically three distinct camps. About 37% said they wanted to improve their technique and their mechanics, 28% said they wanted to improve physical fitness, and 22% said they wanted to improve mental skills. Now, when I dug down deeper, obviously the people who wanted better technique were really looking specifically at more power, accuracy and consistency. The people who wanted more of an impact physically were looking at more stamina, speed, to be quick around the court, and those who quoted mental as their main block were looking at needing more confidence and one big thing, the ability to play more like they did in practice. And so the question I asked was this: is there something that every single tennis player could do that could make a difference, that could actually work for all ages, all abilities, all genders, and actually could still be transferable and be of use to the player long after the 12-week period was over? And remember, it had to be a benefit to the player with improved power, accuracy, consistency, stamina, speed, confidence, and the ability to play more like they did in practice. Now, obviously, that sounds like a tall order, but there is actually something that I said all the pro players are doing. They all know that it's a game changer, and that's why they're working on it every single day. And what is that? Well, it's footwork, because footwork is the one thing that every tennis player, yes, every tennis player, has a duty to make as good as they can get it, because without good footwork you're never going to be playing anywhere near your maximum capacity, because you don't have to have great ground strokes to actually be getting great results. You can have an average serve but have far better than average results. And maybe your volleys aren't something to write home about, but your great results can be something that your friends and your buddies at the tennis club will be talking to each other about. So let me explain why footwork is such a dial mover when it comes to tennis performance. Now, do you remember the responses from the survey? Well, 37% of players said they wanted better technique and mechanics. Well, without good footwork, which is the thing that takes you to every single shot you ever play on the court, you'll never be in position to play a great shot, even if you have the potential to make great swings. Players also wanted more power, accuracy and consistency. Now think about it. If you don't arrive at the ball in the correct manner and in a good position, for example, you could be too close or you could be too far away, you can never hit the ball with any power. Think about trying to deliver a knockout blow in boxing. If you're too close or you're too far away from your opponent, you may make contact, but you're never going to knock them out. You've got no power. So why do you think boxers spend so much of their time working on footwork with skipping ropes, etc.? It's to help them develop quick feet, to get into good positions, to deliver their punches and get out of the way of punches when pressurized by opponents. What about the 28% who wanted better fitness? Well, footwork training is actually one of the best ways to improve your fitness, which is why you see every single sports person doing it. It's super specific because you're doing the type of things that you can take straight onto the court. But here's what I think is the biggie. And that is that you don't have to spend hours and hours on a treadmill or a stationary bike going nowhere to see the results and feel the benefit. It's repeated, short bursts of activity that make the difference here. It's exactly the kind of thing you do when you play. We're not talking about an hour and a half sitting on a bike. How does that resemble what you do on the court? I would even put some of the injury concerns that players had into this category, and there's a massive role footwork training can play in preventing and rehabbing injuries. But I'm going to cover that in more detail next time. I've just read a report from the ITF and there's some really interesting news that I think you should hear about. And finally, 22% stated mental skills as the thing they wanted to improve right now, specifically confidence and to play more like they did in practice. But how does footwork help here? Just close your eyes for a moment and picture yourself having the ability to move effortlessly around the court. How does that feel? If you could move like that or even more like that, would you feel more confident about your game? Of course you would. What about if you were feeling sluggish and clumsy? How does that help your confidence? When we look at the responses of the players in any sport playing at their peak in what we call the IPS, or the ideal performance state, or what many people call the zone, they all talk about this feeling of almost floating around the court or the pitch, getting to shots with almost no effort, and therefore having the confidence to go for all of their shots. And you can do this too. You don't have to be in the zone every time, but just getting to balls quicker and being in better positions to play your shots gives you options. You can choose where to play the ball, and this breeds confidence, which is distinctly different to feeling like you're just getting to balls in time and almost playing a kind of game of catch up. Where's the confidence coming from there? So there you have it, some background info behind how footwork can impact across all of your game without making the mistake, as many players do, of attacking all elements in their game they want to improve one by one. It's the wrong way to do it, and you'll be missing the point. You can work on your footwork, improve your game, and then come back to look at all the other stuff. You'll see better results this way round. Believe me, if you don't, you'll always hit a brick wall in your game where poor footwork is holding you back and the only way forwards. So why not improve it, and why not do it now?